Good morning, everyone. If you're tuning in live with us at 7:25 a.m., we just want to say good morning to you. If you are watching this as a replay, whether it be in the afternoon, the evening, or in the nighttime, we just want to say thank you for tuning into News in Motion. If this is your first time tuning in, News in Motion is a news media outlet with relevant commentary and call to action. You can find us on LinkedIn, YouTube, or any audio or podcast platforms. Today is May 30th, 2024. It is Thursday. We have our Town Hall Thursday segment, but we're also going to switch it up a bit and call it Talk Back Thursday. Now, the rule is with Town Hall Thursdays, the moment y'all stop talking in the chat, stop commenting, stop asking questions, that's when the segment's over. We head to the inspirational message, and then we sign off for the weekend. And usually here on News and Motion, we like to call our Thursdays our Friday Eves. So we still give a headline news, but we also like to keep it fun and lighthearted at times as well. Let us know how you are doing today, how your week has been so far. Shout out to all of the high school graduates who are graduated, have already graduated, who are getting ready for graduation today. I want to send a special shout out to my little brother, Isaac Jones, who is getting ready to graduate high school. I'm proud of you, little bro. Proud of all the things that you have accomplished. This is just the beginning. We are going to celebrate you hard tonight. Um, but before we get started, let's give a few shout outs to our viewers. Good morning to you, Miss Marion Jackson. Good morning, Miss Deborah Johnson. Good morning, Miss Shardinia. And good morning, Miss Regina Shorts. If you are ready for a Town Hall Thursday or Talk Back Thursday, please let us know in the chat. Make sure that you grab your paper, grab your pen, invite a friend. Make sure that you also like and subscribe. And we'll be right back after this brief intro.
News in Motion.
What's up, everyone? I see you all rolling up in here on this Thursday. So good to see all of you. So good. All right, he already yelled out Marion Jackson, but we were talking about you, Marion. I was like, is that Marion Jackson in here that early? Deborah Johnson, Shardinia, Regina, what's up, Lori Wallace? How are you? How's everyone doing today? Look, we had a great day yesterday. Now, real quick, if you stayed until the end of the presentation yesterday, you should have received the PDF as well as the one sheet that I talked about that you can use as an example. If you did not receive that, check your spam, because we sent that early on. It was about 9:30 that we sent it, and we realized some people did not receive it. I'm so glad to see you, Kim Edmondson. So check your email. It's not going to be in the Friday rundown. You had to have been a part of the presentation yesterday. That's why we went to like 8:45 yesterday. I gave you a whole 45-minute presentation, and many of you said you absolutely loved it. So check your spam. Just a quick question, Marion and Deborah, Adrian, did y'all get that yesterday? Did you already see that in your email? I just want to make sure that some of y'all received. I know Lori did find it yesterday. Lori's was in her spam. I see you, Adrian. I see you. Lori says, I'm great. Blessed to see another birthday. Happy birthday, Lori. Happy birthday to you. Adrian says she did receive it. Okay, great. I just wanted to make sure. So I should really be in your email, but I think it came from Gail at GailDudley.com. So it may have come Gail at GailDudley.com, which means we haven't connected yet. Marion, let me know if you check that. Yeah. So, y'all, we want to get into it. We're taking today, instead of it being Town Hall Thursday, I'm changing it to Talk Back Thursday, because I need a lot of talking back to today. because we got a lot to cover, But we're not going to be here all day today, though. We're going to try to be out of here by 8 o'clock. We'll see if that happens. So please check if you were on here, and we were able to capture everyone who stayed to the end. We know a few of you had to exit out a little early. And you know me, I'm just a nice person, so you're still going to get it. I know you had to get to your job. So, y'all, this is where we're going to start this morning, okay? This is where we're going to start. And y'all got to talk back to me today. So get ready to be on that device to talk back, to respond back to me. I would greatly appreciate it. So let's start here. Will he or won't he be convicted? All right, y'all. The jury will begin their second day of deliberations today as former President Donald J. Trump faces 34 counts related to allegations of election interference, and we also know it's known as the hush money payments. The jury sent a note on yesterday requesting to review 4 sections of the testimony of the trial. Almost an hour later, the jurors sent a second note asking to rehear the jury instructions. So, y'all, that's very interesting because they're asking questions. That could be a good sign. Deborah said, I got my PDF. Marion said she got the PDF. Great, great, great. So if y'all were on here yesterday, y'all, we did an entire workshop. It's normally a 90-minute workshop. We did it in 45 minutes. That was my way of giving back to all of you as we are celebrating already our 4-year anniversary. Just to say thank you for continuously hanging out with us. So you all received, and the reason it did not go 90 minutes is because we weren't in a classroom and I wasn't going back and forth with you asking questions and stuff. I went straight through the presentation. The presentation, for those of you who missed it yesterday, is Know Your Worth. It's a 90-minute presentation that I give for $297 a person. And everyone who tuned in yesterday, it is up on the YouTube. It is up on the YouTube, so go check it out. If you have time, it's the end of yesterday's segment of News in Motion, but it was 45 minutes and it was straight content. So check it out. Check it out when you get a chance there on the YouTube. So for those who stayed all the way to the end, they also received the PDF along with the one sheet to give them a template of what I use as you're out there marketing yourselves and doing some things. Donita, I did send it to you. Check your spam. Check your spam. Check your spam. I see you, Davia. Davia, check your spam. Let me know if you got yours. And Fred Jones, I did not send yours. I need your email to send yours. So good morning to you, Fred Jones. Kim Edmondson says, sorry I missed it yesterday. Kim, we missed you too. I do look for certain people, okay? Deborah says, why don't they just get the instructions in writing? I think they do have some of it, and I think that's what they were asking, but also the foreman or the foreperson should be taking notes as well. Now, y'all remember, there are 2 attorneys on that jury. So, come on, y'all. Will he or won't he be convicted? Talk to me. Will he or won't he be convicted? Could it be that he's convicted of maybe a few of the counts and not all 34? Do you think he's going to be free of all 34? Do you think he's going to be convicted of all 34? Y'all let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know. And Donita, if you still don't have it, just inbox me or send me an email. For those of you who did not receive it, it's better if you send me an email. Send that to Gail at gaildudley.com. and say, hey, I didn't get the PDF, and I'll send it again. That's Gail at gaildudley.com. That way I can just tag it back to you that way. All right, so let's go on to the next one. So y'all's kind of quiet with the will he or won't he be convicted. So let's go on to the next one here. Pastor Alex said he won't be convicted. The fix is in. Say more. What do you mean the fix is in? He won't be. So you don't think Pastor Alex will be convicted of any of it? And those of you who are on the audio, I'm gonna need y'all to keep y'all's eyes on the road. Y'all can do what y'all normally do. Send me DMs later to let me know. And also for those of you who were on the audio, I don't know what time you came off. So if you want the PDF, the audio people, just email me and I will send it to you because I know that's a little different for you all. The fact that you still tune in and listen in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I want to make sure you get the PDF as well. Marion says, I believe he will be convicted. Pastor Alex says he gets away with everything. Kim Edmondson says she agrees with Pastor Alex. Adrian says convicted of several but not all. So we have a mixed group this morning. Okay. I'll tell you what I think. Just from things that I'm reading, I think he's going to walk away. And it bothers me. It bothers me. And I'll tell you why when I keep going through the list today. It bothers me. Should he have a say in the matter? Let's talk about this one. I've gone to the next person now. Should he have a say in the matter? Court Justice Samuel Alito tells House Democrats he will not recuse himself from 2 Trump-related cases. Yeah, I don't even know if you should have a say, buddy. I don't think it should be on you because you're the person that all eyes are on, just like it shouldn't be on Justice Clarence Thomas either. So I want to hear y'all's thoughts on that. Should he have a say in this? So Justice Alito rejects calls to step aside from the cases over the flag controversy. He's like, I ain't stepping away. So AP News came out with a great story yesterday that said Justice Samuel Alito is rejecting calls to step aside from the Supreme Court cases involving former President Donald Trump and January 6 defendants because of the controversy over the flag that flew over his house. Now, in a letter to members of Congress Wednesday, he says that his wife was responsible. I don't care. You married to her, just like Jenny. Just like Jenny to Clarence Thomas. Y'all married, y'all having conversation. Y'all are in this thing together. Doesn't it say till death do us part? And aren't y'all so holy and religious? It don't matter. It doesn't matter. Now, it's very interesting that you want to take away women's rights, Justice, but all of a sudden your wife got a right. Come on now. You playing both sides of the fence here, brother. He says in his letter, he says, you know what's up? It was up to her. She was responsible for flying the flag upside down over the home in 2021. And he said it was considered an appeal to heaven. Appeal to heaven for what? That your guy get in? Like what? Talk to me, y'all. I read these things. I was reading all these different alerts. I was like, did he really say this? I need to see the letter. And it was in the letter. That is what he said in the letter to Congress. I was like, what? Y'all didn't. Y'all can find all this stuff online. Anyway, he says he's not stepping down. Not at all. He said this is his wife. And then he says in a quote in the letter, my wife and I own our Virginia home jointly. He says in the letter as it continues, she therefore has the legal right to use the property as she sees fit. And there are no additional steps that I could have taken to have the flag taken down more promptly. Really, dude. He goes on to say that his wife has a mind of her own and she owns properties. That's what he said. And then he reminded the senators, because he wrote one of them do. He reminded the senators, he said, who is he to stand in her way? She makes her own decisions, and I have always respected her right to do so. You did. Really, dude. Okay. All right. So he says, I'm not blaming my wife, but it's her right to do whatever she wants to in our home. Because we own it jointly. Y'all, I read it, was like, you trying too hard to stress that your wife has all these. No, y'all see it? Did they take me by? Do you? I don't know what happened. Y'all see, that's what's happening. Truth and us. See how that I am back on here and y'all can see. Because now, what is going on? Shadow, but I think that's what's happening. Come on in for a moment, Isaiah. Let me check something. Isaiah, come in. Let me check something. Can you see me or is it gone
I
cold?
I can see you. Your video was frozen and your audio was a little choppy.
Okay, I need to know what y'all heard and what y'all didn't hear because it looks like it came back. Isn't that interesting that that happened when the sun is shining and I'm talking just truth, and all of a sudden I got put in a freeze frame?
That was strange.
That was strange. I think we're back. I think we're back. So thank you, Isaiah. Let's keep an eye on this. So let's keep going because I'm not going to shut up about this at all. I don't know how much y'all heard, how much you didn't hear, but he did an entire letter to Congress. He sent one to the senators as well, but Congress as a whole sent one to the House, sent one to the senators as well. And I find it very interesting that he was trying so hard to really push that women have a voice when he does not show that in some of the laws that he passed. But he should not have a say in this at all. And I want to hear what some of you are saying. I want to read what some of you are saying. Fred Jones says they only learn about the Lord through their Trump Bible. Deborah Johnson says any impropriety should be cause for removal on the decision. And then Fred Jones says he's hanging his wife out to dry. G's. Marion Jackson says not taking responsibility for his own actions, but blaming others for his actions. Kim Edmondson says there's another flag at his home in Florida too. Yes. Oh, that's what I was saying. Did y'all see the women who dressed up in Handmaid's Tales, red hooded capes, and they were walking around the back of the home on the beach in New Jersey? I was like, oh my gosh, this is classic. Deborah says, does he respect other women's rights to make decisions about their bodies? Kim says that part. Audio was choppy, but clear now. I'm glad. Latrice, what's happening? The lie was breaking up. It's back now. We didn't hear most of it. Look, I believe, was it not interesting that we have clear sun? No, we were having rain and storms yesterday. Nothing was freezing. I talk about the justices and all of a sudden it freezes. Is that not weird? I'm not trying to be conspiracy here, but I'm just saying what I'm saying. Adrian says Alito and Thomas should step aside, and conservative members, are they the head of the house but passing blame? Whatever, man. There's that. And then Donita believes that Trump will not be convicted. So y'all, it's crazy. And yes, Kim, there were two flags over two separate houses in two different states, New Jersey and in Florida. I'm just going back to see what I got here. So y'all, I hopefully y'all heard everything about. If not, just Google, check out. Mother Jones, check out the AP, Associated Press, check out NPR. There were many people who were grabbing that story, and I found it all just extremely, extremely interesting. So even with that, y'all, I need to turn here. I just think that story was crazy. I was reading it going, you wrote a letter to Congress throwing your wife under the bus, as Fred said, like what? And then all of a sudden, every time he kept on saying she has a voice, she has a right to do. We own the house jointly. She has just as much right as I do. I can't tell her what to do. He was trying so hard to push that narrative that to me, that was a red flag. I was like, this is a red flag right here, dude. Like this is the red flag for me. But I don't even think he should be able to say I'm not recusing myself. It should really be Justice Roberts to say, dude, you can't vote on this. It should be up to, there should be some legislative law, some legalese to say, you can't do this. You have to remove yourself. Because if you are in control of everything, nothing will ever get done. But I want to say this. I got to put the voting piece in here, y'all. This is why we vote. Really. Because and not just for the president of the United States, but for the House and for the Senate, because the senators are the ones who will either approve the nominee or not for a justice seat. So there is that. There is that. People over the past couple of weeks, they were kind of going after Ruth Ginsburg, and I was like, is she gone? Y'all better leave her alone. They were saying she knew she was not feeling well. She knew she was getting up in age. They believed she should have stepped aside early on in Obama's administration, because then he could have appointed someone else. It's too late to have that conversation. And then there are people who are saying that even now, what are we going to do? Because it's getting ready to be completely lopsided. Donita said, I'm really tired of Clarence Thomas. The Supreme Court is corrupt. Fred Jones says he can't tell her what to do except vote for Trump. There's that. Kim Edmonds says the Supreme Court has no checks and none, no checks and balances. And as we, the people, we can make a change with that, but we have to vote. Y'all, let me just sideline this for just a moment. I'm becoming very concerned. And I wasn't concerned, but I'm becoming very concerned because we're back to the Biden age, that whole narrative. We're also back to people are saying they're just over it and they're not going to vote. There are people even now who are saying if Trump gets off on all 34 counts, they're like, they know the system is rigged and why bother? And I'm real concerned about that mindset and that conversation. And it means it's going to take us more effort to try to get people to understand, feel the way you feel, but vote. And try to help them understand and connect the dots. That is so important for people to vote. It's important. So I came across this EEOC news. And that's the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. The EEO sues 15 employers for failing to file required workforce demographic reports. I need y'all to talk back to me about this. So let me read this. Just a portion of it because it's a lot. The EEOC sued 15 employers for repeatedly failing to submit mandatory EEO-1 data reports in prior years, including for reporting years 2021 and 2022. The federal law requires employers with 100 or more employees to submit workforce data to the EEOC. The data collected includes workforce information by job category and sex, race, and ethnicity. This workforce demographic data is used for a variety of purposes, including enforcement, analytics, and research and employer self-assessment. So I wanted to get real nosy and see who some of these were. Boomerang 2 LLC, Commodore Construction Corporation, Eastern Janitorial Services. These are the companies that they're suing. Erickson Framing Operations, Harrison Poultry Incorporated, Leonard's Express, Lone Star Overnight, Metropolitan Food, which is also Driscoll Food, Naylor Industries of Texas, Performance Hospitality Management, Primary Aim LLC, Taylor Morrison Incorporated, and Trans Development Services. And I was reading this and I went through just to look at a couple of the reports, because the reports, you can see them once you go into them. I went in to look at some of the reports, and y'all, it's really coming back to Black and brown people and the demographics. And I'm thinking, why aren't they filing these reports? So now that you know just that little bit of news there, what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts? I was trying to decide, if y'all checked out on my Instagram, I've been doing just maybe once a week before the show. And I was going to do this fact sheet that came out from the White House, but I'm going to save that till next week, because that's interesting as well. And those two things to some degree tie in with one another. But y'all, there's so much going on. We have to pay attention. Now, you may think this has nothing to do with us, but it does. The ANC, which is the African National Congress, and this is NBC News reporting, South Africans, they headed to the polls on yesterday amid what they call the biggest challenge to African National Congress, 30-year rule since the end of apartheid. Now, recent polling suggests that the party of the late Nelson Mandela may not secure the simple majority of the vote needed to nominate the president. All right, y'all. A feat in the ANC has achieved in every election since 1994. If the ANC fails to do so this year, the party, still the front runner among more than 50 others, will need to form a coalition. So there is some conversation around what's going to happen if this does not stand. Um, and it's been, again, a rule for 30 years. Now, fueling discontent in the South Africa's economic situation, the country has the world's highest sustained unemployment rate, with 33% of eligible workers unemployed in early 2024. So, yeah, we have to pay attention to that because there's a connection. There's a connection. And as this story continues to develop, I'm going to continue to share it here along with the connection points. But just be mindful of that. So here's my question. Talk back Thursday. Here's my question to all of you. Did you even know what the ANC stood for? Did you know that there was a 30-year rule? And are you concerned at all if you reside in the United States of America? So I just asked you like 4 questions. So go ahead and talk back to me. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Again, y'all, we're just like breaking down some news today just to have Talk Back Thursday, not necessarily Town Hall Friday, because this is information, y'all. When we go through this, and I shared this on before the show reel this morning. And I talked about my day. Like, I'm up at 4, I pray, I do a little bit of exercise, not full blown for real. I probably need to get back to full blown exercise, but I just don't feel it. So I do something. I do some sort of movement to get going. Kim said, I did not know. Yes, it is concerning. It really is concerning. I think we as a people, we're so narrow minded and focused on just us that we're missing the connection of what's happening outside and around us. Deborah said, yes, I know, and I'm very concerned. We should be very concerned about that. And again, as the story develops, I'll keep coming back with it. And so from there, pray with my husband, showered, I check out the news and see if there's any news change or breaking news or anything. And then I go back over the script to make sure everything is flowing. And today I'm being very intentional to put things out there. It's what we call in the news world or journalistic world, we're sprinkling news with the reminder to come back, because all of these things are connected. So even as you're waiting for a verdict from Manhattan, be waiting for the verdict of the ANC. Be waiting for the verdict of the EEOC. Be waiting for the verdict of all these other things, even with Justice Alito. Be waiting on those things. Marion says, I didn't know. Thank you for telling me. Hey, we all learn. And that's what I like about News in Motion. I know there's I probably don't even want to love it the way I do, but seriously, I'm really excited about what we're doing and what we're able to accomplish. So The Verge reports, OpenAI announced licensing agreements with The Atlantic and Vox yesterday, Vox, VOX, allowing the company behind ChatGPT to train future AI models on their content. Now you may think, oh, great, because it's The Atlantic and Vox. As long as they have some sort of framework to make sure there's not misinformation or disinformation. So it's great that you're partnering, but what's going to be the follow through? What's going to be the connection to make sure that it really is shrinking the misinformation and disinformation? Now, y'all, these are the 2 of the largest news media companies that have secured licensing deals with OpenAI. We're talking Financial Times was valued at $5 to $10 million, a licensing agreement last week with News Corp, which owns the Wall Street Journal. We're talking possibly $250 million in over 5 years. So Politico, People, InStyle, the Associated Press, there's all of these who are not jumping on the bandwagon, but they were able to secure The Atlantic and Vox on yesterday. So it's going to be interesting to see, but the question is, will all the components be there? So even with that, do you trust the news that is coming from an AI source? Yes or no, and why or why not? And I see we're freezing again. I don't know what is happening today. I don't know. We are freezing again. Very interesting day. Very interesting day. I am assuming we're still freezing. My apologies. I have no idea what's happening today. None. No idea. No idea. So, with that, I'm not going to get to all the news because we keep freezing. Um, wow. Very interesting. Isaiah, is it back? Is it back or not? Is it back? Okay, it's back. Yeah, I am very sorry. I have no idea what's happening today. No idea what's happening today. Good morning, Shirley. Good morning. Kim says, no, I don't trust the AI news sources. And Deborah says, I'm skeptical about AI news. There is no so much room for manipulation. There's a lot of room for that. A lot of room for that. All right, y'all, let me get to something fun because I'm not going to get to these other couple. Well, I do want to get to this one because I said I was going to talk about it. The reason I don't trust, I don't have hope with him being convicted. Y'all, charges against Scottie Scheffler, is it Scheffler, will be dropped. You know, he was a dude that kind of like they said drug a police officer. He was going to the what was that golfing thing? He's a golfer, PGA championship. So he got off. It's like, did we even hear what happened? Did we even let the police have their say as to what happened? It was a horrific accident, and they were telling him he couldn't go that way, and he went that way anyway, although all the other cars were stopped. What is happening here? Y'all, when I see things like that or read things like this, I become so frustrated because if it was us, we would be in the jail. We wouldn't even been able to go to the PGA golfing tournament. Deborah says the police was injured and the charges were still dropped. It's just crazy. It is absolutely crazy. So y'all, again, I'm sorry about what's happening with the internet today. But I do want to get to this. I do. Y'all, a Michigan man, I know y'all have seen this. I want to hear it. Talk back to me. A Michigan man with a suspended license virtually joined his court hearing while driving a car, causing the judge to revoke bail and order the man to turn himself in. And then when the judge is talking to him, he's like, what? Like, what's happening right here? So, and it was a black judge, a black guy driving the car. He's like, I'm pulling in right now. I'm like, you're driving on a suspended license? So then he was told, you turn yourself in at 6 p.m. Really? And I'm thinking, please don't drive yourself into jail. Call Uber. Call Uber to have somebody else take you to jail. Do not drive yourself to jail on a suspended license. But even that, thank you, Kim. Kim says, I still see and hear you. I don't know what's going on, but we're not going to worry about it. Things like that happen. You just got to keep rolling with it, right, y'all? You just got to keep rolling with it. So yeah, y'all, this dude and the judge, the judge had the look on his face like, are you really driving right now? Like, what is happening? Okay, I'm gonna need you to turn yourself in by 6 p.m. because all of this has been revoked. You're going to jail. So y'all, let me talk about this real quick, so that you know. South Dakota, Tuesday, June 4th, New Mexico, Tuesday, June 4th, Montana, Tuesday, June 4th, Iowa, Tuesday, June 4th, New Jersey, Tuesday, June 4th. Election. And this will wrap up the primary season. Latrice Jones says that man was totally clueless. Like, dude, seriously? Yes, he was clueless. And yes, the judge's face was like, let me try to understand this. So y'all get this. South Dakota, New Mexico, Montana, Iowa, New Jersey. You got counties that do not have any poll workers. And they want to train y'all this weekend. So let me start with Iowa, because Iowa has Iowa has 16 counties. Boone, Carroll, Clay, Clayton, Clinton, Ida, Iowa, Johnson, Lee, Lynn, Mitchell, Story, Van Bruin, Warren, Worth, Wapello, I believe that's how you say that. They need poll workers. So if you know anybody lives in those areas, they need poll workers. They want to train y'all this weekend, and there's pay that's involved. New Mexico, you have 7 places. South Dakota, you have 6 counties. Montana, you have 3 counties. New Jersey, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 counties. You even have Camden, New Jersey, without any poll work. Like, what is going on? Atlantic, Camden, Cumberland, Hudson, Mercer, Middlesex, excuse me, Monmouth, Salem, Somerset, Union, and Warren. Those areas in New Jersey, they need poll workers so that y'all can go in and vote. And you're at the place that you can't like send in absentee ballot. So y'all, these places they need poll workers. So if you live in South Dakota, Montana, New Mexico, Iowa, or New Jersey, this weekend you get paid. Go get some training. You might even be able to do it virtually, they say, but they need you. They need you. They need you. And even if you don't do it for Tuesday, go ahead and register to learn it, because if they don't have them for the primary, they're not going to have them for the general election. So please, please, please pay attention to all of this. Please, please, please pay attention to all of this. You all are needed as poll workers. So here's my inspirational message, and we're out of here. Again, our apologies for the connection today. I don't know what's happening. I have no clue. I have none. But here's my inspirational message for today. Many of you actually wrote in about the self-care portion yesterday on the presentation. And yes, Fridays, I mark out every day from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. The whole calendar is blanked out and it says self-care. And I do whatever I choose to do that day. If I want to go to lunch, I go. If I want to clean my house, I can clean my house. It is a self-care day for me. And I think it's so important that we take time to care for ourselves. What makes you feel good? How do you feel? What makes your heart sing? What makes you happy? How do you live, move, and have your being? Self-care is important. Is your mind clear? Maybe you just need to sit in silence for an hour. And I know that sounds like a long time, but it's the most beautiful thing. Do you need to do some breathing exercise? Do you need to go and get a massage or go in the pool and swim? Do you need to go take a walk? Do you need to just put your feet up, put a blanket on, and watch some Netflix movies? Do you need to have a mimosa? Oh, by the way, Dave, if you're still on here, Latrice has this drink she wants you to make up. But y'all, whatever that needs to be for you, do it. And don't allow anybody to rob you of your self-care time. No one. For example, I shared with y'all yesterday, the only people who can interrupt my self-care time are my ailing parents. That's it. My siblings can't call me, not unless they're calling me about my parents. I'm not doing that. Self-care day is for me. Whatever I choose to do, however I choose to do it. If I want to go to lunch, I go to lunch. If I want to go shopping, I go shopping. If I want to if I want to go to a meeting, if I want to go to a networking event, I go, because I define what self-care means to me. And maybe self-care for me is to connect with other women or other business people or other companies or whatever that may be. So I may go to that networking event because I choose to. Self-care. Last night was a self-care for me. And last night came out of nowhere, but I received a ticket to go celebrate Isaac Jones and his career school graduation. Y'all, I was so excited. And I was supposed to do something with my dad. And I called my sister, I can't do this. I got somewhere to be. And I was so excited because I think back to my friends, Fred and Latrice Jones. I think back 15 years ago, 16 years ago, whenever we met. I don't even know when we met, but it's been many years now. I think back to that time and I'm like, wow, how people were trying to count out my nephew and how he walked across that stage yesterday. And to be in that space, I was trying to contain myself just to see how God has blessed him, blessed his family, just blessed the interaction. And he calls me auntie. So it gives me everything. So that was self-care for me. To say, wow, God, I'm seeing, and I'm trying real hard not to get emotional, how I'm seeing the fruit of God and the faith, and how I'm seeing the fruit being poured in to my nephew. Latrice Jones says self-care is actually vital to our well-being. Yes. Kim Edmondson says enjoy your day, sis. Yes. Deborah says going out in nature is healing. Yes. Lori, self-care. Yes. Kim, amen. Isaac is a walking testimony. I'm sure Latrice is probably tearing up her house right now. But y'all, self-care is important. It is. And let me just talk about the freezing and what's been happening with the audio and the visual today. I could do two things. I can be frustrated behind it or keep it moving. Y'all, when you have had time to have that place of freedom and self-care and you're really tuned in to who you are and what you're doing, I have no control over the internet. None. So self-care, the reflection of self-care is how do you deal with things when your back is up against the wall? Okay, we're going to keep going. Isaiah, can you come and let's check it out? Let's see if there's nothing we can do. Okay. And if we had to have ended the show, we had to have ended the show. There's nothing we could do. I can't cry about it. I can't stress about it. I can't be like, what? All I can do is apologize like I did. And really, I shouldn't apologize because I have no control over it. So we having technical difficulties. But here's the question. And this is how you can evaluate your self-care. When things happen, do you become very frustrated or do you say, okay, let me keep it rolling. Let me keep it moving. That gives you a clear indication of how to interact with people. It also gives you a peek behind the curtain to their lifestyle. Fred Jones says, God has truly been faithful. Thank you for being a part of the family. Listen, I love y'all dearly. Deborah said, it is so important to choose to protect your peace. Listen, I need a t-shirt that says, I'm protecting my peace. Seriously, I need that t-shirt. I've been trying to find one. Every time I try to get one, they sell out. And I love it because people are protecting their peace. Protect your peace. Lori says, amen. What a wonderful blessing to watch your child do what others think is impossible. Latrice, Fred, Isaiah. Listen, y'all. Love on your loved ones. Seriously. Love on your loved ones. Laugh. I crack up. I do. I have a good old time. I crack up and stuff. It's like, let me just laugh. Let me just enjoy life. But self-care, practice self-care. Whatever that looks like for you, practice self-care. It is so important. It is so, so important. All right, y'all. I know there's still many graduations that are happening, especially with high schools. Congratulations to all high school graduates. If you're still graduating in college, congratulations. For college, and whether it's bachelor's, master's, doctorate, whatever, we just want to say congratulations to all of you. If any of you are on the fence about going back to school, I mean, I'm in that group too. Just take one class. Take one class. Try it out. Just take one class. See what it's like. See how you're going to fit it back into your schedule. And that's been my problem. It's not going back to school. It's like, how do I fit this into my schedule? Because now I'm just kind of like setting my ways. It's like, can I really fit this in? But you have to make that decision. You have to make that decision, but take that one class. Do something that's leading you to fulfill whatever it is. Because a part of self-care is sitting back long enough to make some decisions for yourself. It's like cutting out all the noise, stopping all the distractions, and asking the right questions. And only you can really answer those questions. Lori says, don't forget to click the thumbs up button before you leave. Adrian says, reminder, smash the like button. And Adrian says, yes, I love being in class. Speaking of Adrian, I'm going to put her on Front Street real quick. Adrian's about to graduate with her, bachelor's, right, from The Ohio State University. And y'all know Adrian has grown kids. So y'all know she went back, but she did her due diligence and she's been sticking with it. Class after class after class after class after class. So we want to celebrate Adrian and the work that she's doing. Latrice is back in school. Class after class after class. She was even bold on Facebook to say, all right, y'all, who knows about economics? Because I'm going to need some help. It's okay to ask people for help. Ask people for help. If you got a paper to write or prepare for a quiz or whatever, find that person, that buddy person to come and connect with. All right, y'all, I'm up out of here. Have a great weekend. If you're in Central Ohio tonight and there's any more tickets available, check out the National 100 Women Coalition. I think I said that wrong, but they're doing a scholarship piece tonight. I'll be in that room tonight too. Excited for all those who will receive scholarships. Whatever you're doing, y'all always be mindful. Who needs some assistance? Who needs some help? Oh, before I go, I gotta say this, and I'm leaving for real, but I want to say this. Um, it is so easy, and I did this. And I had to check myself first. It's so easy to look because I'm used to growing up in a time where my grandmother got dressed up for graduations. Okay, like dressed up. Now I had on jeans yesterday, but I still put on a suit jacket yesterday. You know, because I didn't know if I was going to be running around the room with Isaac, getting his certificate with career development, graduating from career development. So I wanted to make sure I had room to really express myself if I needed to. But I was watching some people and I thought, God, like we don't dress up anymore. And when I say dress up, we don't look decent anymore. Like what are we doing? And God had to remind me, everybody may not have the means or even the resources to do what I was saying or asking. So I said, okay, God, you're right. And I said, well, God, how do we help? And so one thing we're going to start doing in the Friday rundown, not this week, but in the Friday rundown, we're going to put different clothing places. So if there's a clothing place that gives away free clothes or like dress for success or whatever it is, please send us that information so we can put that in Friday rundown. So we're going to start adding a resource piece to that. And I had to ask God to forgive me for being judgmental. I'm like, if my baby, or if I'm doing it, my grandmother's probably rolling around in her grave right now. But I was thinking, can we not just do, but maybe we don't know how to do, which means, are we not doing the teaching that we need to be doing? There's some disconnect. There's something that has been broken. And I wonder if it's too late to fix it. So just my thing, I'm not being judgmental, but I'm thinking, okay, maybe people don't have the resources. So then how do we help them with the resources? How do we help them? Just like we do with food insecurity. And no, we're not becoming cause-based to that degree, but we want to supply resources to people, or at least give them addresses or names of companies as to where to reach out. The same when it comes to voting. Maybe people just don't know how to register. They don't have the computers to do it, not realizing that they can go to their local library and get on their computer and register to vote. And the things that they need. Deborah says, I love this idea. I would love to see all of us take more care of our appearance and help others to do so. It is not too late to start this movement. Marion says, trying to practice self-care on a regular basis. So we all have work to do, and I'm really excited about it. So with that, I am out of here, y'all. I am Gail Dudley, the host of News in Motion. You all know what I say. Stay well, everyone. And remember, make some bold moves. We're out.
NewsInMotion.